Hello everyone, it's Lauren. Today I'm going to be reading the 4th chapter of A Mistaken Identity. This chapter is written by my friend Pearl, so let's get into it. Chapter 4, Isabelle. Briella waves her hand. "Follow me! Follow the car!" she yells. I nod my head vigorously and give her a thumbs up that I hope she sees before she's pushed into the car. As the car rolls out of the parking lot, Sneakers and I sprint after it. It makes a left turn up ahead, and we come around the same corner seconds later to see it turning again. With a rush of adrenaline, I put on a new burst of speed. When we come around the next corner, we see the car stop at a red light up ahead. But right as I catch up to it, the light turns green, and the car speeds off. Frantically, I push the crosswalk button over and over until it finally beeps. We sprint across the crosswalk. I can barely see the car up ahead as it makes another turn. When I finally come to the same turn, I round the corner and stop. The road stretches on ahead, but the car is nowhere to be seen. I run a little further down the sidewalk and come to a few little side streets, leading off to who knows where. I honestly don't know what to do. Should I keep going down this main road? But I would probably still be able to see the limo if it was on this road. Should I try going down some of these side streets? They probably aren't very long. I decide on that one and start quickly walking down the street nearest me. Before long, I come to a dead end. Do you know how disappointing that is? I turn around and sprint back to the main road and try a different street. Within the next hour, I've covered 2 of the streets, which both lead to dead ends. The 4th street leads to a huge intersection and what looks like 10 different streets leading from it. When I get to it, I feel like crying. I don't have the energy or the time to go down all these streets. And neither does Sneakers. She's starting to droop. But the worst feeling of all is that I know this must be the street the car went on. By now, the limo with my best friend in it could be out of the country. I stare at the street with all the cars and lights and honking horns, feeling defeated, tired, and most of all, sad. I had made a resolution that if I ever saw Briella again, I wouldn't let her out of my sight until I got to her. But now I've broken that resolution. It was even worse than when she got taken away in the building, because this time I have no idea where to look for her. A tear trickles down my cheek as I stand there staring. No, I can't let myself give up. I had to find Briella, or at least a clue to where she could be. I brush the tear away with my hand and look around. I suddenly realize that I could ask people around here if they'd seen a limo. I mean, how often does a limo just drive by without anyone noticing? I start walking towards a group of people about to cross the road, feeling more confident about my plan with each step. When I reach them, I ask politely if any of them has seen a shiny, long, black limousine drive by. Most of them respond by shaking their heads no, but one woman answers me. I didn't see a limo, but I just came from a taxi with a very talkative driver. He was telling me all about how he had seen a limo earlier and saying he loves limos and how he wished he had one and that sort of stuff. I feel a glimmer of hope inside of me. Do you know which taxi it was? I ask, looking around the street. Yes, I believe it was that one parked right over there, she says, pointing to a yellow taxi parked in a parking space a few yards away. I thank the woman fervently and start walking towards the taxi. When I get to it, the man in the driver's seat sticks his head out of the driver's seat's window and says to me, "Hello, do you need a ride?" I respond, "Yes, well, maybe." And then I ask him the same question I had asked the other people. Yes, I did see one of those beautiful cars," he says to me, "and it was the finest of its kind." "Great," I say, hoping to stop him before he gets too into talking about the car itself. "Do you know where it went?" I ask him. Well, I know the general direction it drove off to," he says, looking at the road. "Well, do you think you could take me there?" I asked tentatively. The guy kind of creeps me out. He almost looks like he could be a bank robber or something of that kind. But at least he sounds nice. "Sure thing," he says. "Hop in." He points with his thumb to the back seat. I look down at Sneakers. "Do you allow dogs?" I ask. He glances down at Sneakers. "I don't normally allow dogs, but, well, since you're looking for a limo and since your dog is so cute, I guess I could allow it." I smile at him gratefully. "But no telling anyone, all right?" he says as Sneakers and I, against my better judgment, climb in the back. "I don't want to end up with a car full of cats and dogs just because one person got to bring their pet.
He starts the engine and we drive off. The woman sure was telling the truth when she said he was talkative. He practically never stops talking the entire drive. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. It's almost been half an hour. I'm getting uneasy. Could the limo really have gone this far? Are we almost there? I ask.
Yeah, he responds. But remember, I don't know the exact place it went, just the general area. I saw it just after I dropped off my passenger, so I followed it a little while to see where it would go, but I was driving for so long that I eventually stopped following it and returned to my post. So I was just gonna stop at some huge mansion or something interesting, but I just kept on driving.
I look out the side window to see what kind of place I'm in, but I can't see very much in the fast-falling darkness. I feel anxiety creep over me. It's gonna be completely dark soon. I have no idea where I am except that I'm very far from home. I don't even know this person that I'm with or anyone around here for that matter. I pet Sneakers, who's climbed into my lap for a rest. I heard somewhere that petting animals, especially dogs, can be calming, and it's always worked for me. I'm able to relax a teeny bit as I stroke Sneakers' head. I try to put some reassuring thoughts into my head. I am sure that this isn't a bad place that this guy is taking me to. I mean, I'm only 14, and as soon as we get there, I can just get out, look around in some parking lots and on the streets for a limo, and then hopefully I'll find it and Briella. All this would be worth it if I could find Briella. I wouldn't care what kind of place it is or where I am if I could just find her. The car lurches to a stop.
All right, this is the place,
the man says to me. I open the door and step out.
I'm sorry, but I can't wait for you, the man says.
What, sir? Can't you just please wait for a few minutes? It won't take me very long, I plead.
I'm sorry, he says, but I had to get back. I'm sure there are plenty of other taxis around here. Bye.
I watch in dismay as the man drives off in the taxi. Then I realize something that almost sends me into a panic. This guy drove me through Paris in his taxi for over 30 minutes and he didn't even ask me to pay. I slowly spin around, taking in my surroundings. This is not a nice place. All the buildings around me either have bars over their windows or have been broken and boarded up. I'm in some alleyway and I have no idea how to get home. I start walking down the alley in a direction I hope will lead me to a street or somewhere with lights. I look up and see one single street light that shines down into the alley. I get to it and stand in the pool of light, trying to decide what to do, but I can barely think as fear rises within me, threatening to overwhelm my thoughts. As I stand there, Stinker starts sniffing something on the ground. I see something flash in the light, and I lean down to examine it more closely. Once I have made sure it's not something gross or anything I wouldn't want to touch, I carefully pick it up. It's a gold barrette. It reminds me of Briella and how she's always wearing things in her hair. I know it's not hers, as she always shows me anytime she gets a new one, but it still makes me sad. Sneakers makes a little grunt, and I look down to see her sitting and looking up at me with sad, tired eyes. I feel my eyes filling up with tears, and I can only think of how terrible this situation is. I'm in a dark alleyway in a sketchy part of Paris with no idea how to get home. My best friend is hopelessly lost, and now I have not only put myself in danger, but also my sweet little dog.
That is the 4th chapter of A Mistaken Identity, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you will come back next week for the 5th chapter. If you have not already, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Also, if you have not watched my last video, then click up here. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great week.